referees for today's game, Carmen DeJohn Domenico, David St. Hubbins, and Nigel Tufnell, who thinks the scoreboard goes to 11. Brandon feeling it, shot, goal! If there's a problem, yo, I'll solve it. Check out the hook while my DJ revolves it. Bob, can you tell me what the score is?
We are knotted at deuces, and that was a very nifty shot.
And welcome to the campus of McDonogh School. Thanks for joining us on Booker Corrigan. Alongside my man Bob Shriver, we have Culver against McDonogh today, two perennial powerhouse schools. Tell us about Culver coming into today's action.
Well, they're coming in smoking. They're 8-0 and the #1 team in the country. They've won most of their games pretty handily, and they have some studs kind of at every position.
And McDonogh, they've ping-ponged a little bit to start this season. How would you summarize it?
Well, it's not a typical McDonogh start, although they played a tremendous preseason schedule. They lost to Haverford and Chaminade, but they've been playing without Jack Simmons, their best offensive player by a long shot. And also they played a couple games without Gable Braun, their face-off guy, and the combination of missing those two guys has hurt them.
And Culver, they obviously have a star at the face-off dot with Alex Strathakis, but how about some of their other guys?
Well, 15, Alex Simmons, a junior, he's a right-hander. Coach Posner plays him at attack in midfield. Terrific. And then his combination on the other side of the field, number 22, Owen Hiltz, while just a sophomore, is unbelievable, and he's a lefty, so they can beat you from both sides of the goal with those two studs.
And then you also look at McDonogh. They have some quality on the offensive and defensive end.
Well, we'll start with Chris Smith, number 7. This is his 3rd year starting. He's this big, strapping, strong kid who matches up very well with any power guy who's playing the attack position. In the middle of the field, Andrew Hurdle didn't play at all last year. He tore his ACL, so he's out all year. But he's a big, strong kid going to Bucknell who can bring the heat with the lacrosse ball. And then at the attack position, Jack Sweeney, senior, been on this team for 3 years. He played midfield as a sophomore, and then he started on attack as a junior, and this year as a senior. Quality, big kid, tall. He's another McDonogh, one of 5 McDonogh kids with Chris Smith going to Navy.
So I'm glad we're all paying their tuition. I'm looking forward to them using it well. No, I admire the Navy guys. Hey, we got a great matchup. As you can tell, we're a little bit prepared. We hope you are too. This is the Kelly & Associates Game of the Week, presented by FCA Lacrosse.
Kelly & Associates Insurance Group and Kelly Payroll helps employers and employees save time, money, and hassle in navigating the intricacies of insurance, benefits, payroll, and workforce challenges. Kelly & Associates Insurance Group and Kelly Payroll is pleased to support CSE TV and the Game of the Week. Visit kellyway.com to put their people, technology, and services to work for you.
Fellowship of Christian Athletes. Huddles, camps, teams, building 3-dimensional athletes and coaches.
The June 2nd Baltimore 10-miler always has awesome premiums, and it will once again start and finish right at the Maryland Zoo in Baltimore. Join over 5,000 runners in the region's premier 10-mile race. The course winds through Druid Hill Park, a lap around scenic Lake Montebello, and alongside the campus of Johns Hopkins. The course runs up and down historic 33rd Street, where you might pull off a miracle of your own. Sign up now at baltimore10miler.com.
The MIAA is the most competitive lacrosse conference in the country. The 2018 MIAA Lacrosse Semifinals and Championships will be held May 15th and 18th at Towson University's Johnny Unitas Stadium. For a glimpse into the future of the collegiate game, the MIAA, where the stars of tomorrow play for a championship today.
The Fellowship of Christian Athletes engages their coaches and athletes to grow their faith through sport. Make sure you investigate the amazing camp at Lebanon Valley College this July. The FCA has camps, clinics, huddles, teams. Learn more about the Fellowship of Christian Athletes by going to fcalax.com.
The champions of today inspire the stars of tomorrow over Memorial Day weekend. Just as the stars of college lacrosse will compete for the 2018 NCAA Championship in Foxborough, Massachusetts, youth lacrosse players from across the nation will also be playing for a title at the NCAA Future Champions Tournament. Each team will receive 20 tickets to the NCAA Championships and have the opportunity to be recognized on the field at Gillette Stadium. To learn more, check us out at cselax.com.
And we are set to go at McDonogh Stadium. Coach Bob Shriver, Booker Corrigan bringing the game. Coach, what do you like about the starting lineups that you didn't highlight in the open?
The face-off guy, starting with Culver, Alex Stathakis, who sets this tone for them. It's like looking at a younger Trevor Baptiste almost. Physically, he's imposing. In the game the other day against St. Paul's, I'd say he probably won 90% of the face-offs. So he gets it all started for Culver. And I think we got to look to the same guy on the other side of the field, Gable Braun, who has been nicked up a little bit. Coach Hillgardner hadn't played him. I'm not sure whether he's going to play him today. I think he will. And that'll be a big part of this game to set both teams up offensively because they're both very skilled offensively.
And goaltenders for today, Evan Long, obviously the Towson commit, and then Michael Gianfacaro for Culver. Stars in their own right.
Well, Evan Long just
Coach Hillgardner
going out to that was during warm-ups. He's just going out to talk to his team. But
talk about Evan Long.
Evan Long started last year as a sophomore. He's not a big kid, but he plays very big. Plays extremely big. In the game the other day when we watched Culver play St. Paul's, actually Gian Furcaro did not start, and they started Colin Moan, and he was terrific.
It'll be interesting. We saw a good shot of Coach John Posner, who's built Culver into quite the little powerhouse. The little engine that could. They were once upon a time not the world's greatest program, and now they seem to be number one in the country.
He was telling me before the game today when he started coaching lacrosse at Culver, 10, 11, 12 years ago, they had 30 kids in the school playing lacrosse out of 400 plus. Now they have 100 kids playing lacrosse at Culver.
A large percentage of increase.
He's built a tremendous program.
McDonogh will be in their home white Culver Road Maroons as we see Andrew Hurdle taking the first face-off, it looks like, for the McDonogh Screaming Eagles here on their home grass field, a place they've enjoyed some success. And there is Strathakis pulling it back. We talked about him, and we pronounced his name 3 different ways. I also asked 2 different coaches, and they said they just call him Alec.
Okay, so let's do the same.
We're not the worst people in the world for not knowing. I'm sure we've said it a couple different ways.
There's B.J. Farrar, who, as we've watched for 4 years now, this is his 4th year playing. You really want to be incredibly careful when he's covering you when you have the ball. Even the crafty Canadians will have trouble carrying the ball when BJ's closing in on you.
He just has that footwork speed that will make your pupils dilate.
Turnover.
Here's Liam Powderly, gets it behind, and now it's Sweeney, and a flag early. Towson Hot Bagels got to be thrilled. The Valley Inn, your first quarter sponsor. Get to the Valley Inn for graduation parties, any kind of celebration. Get back on that patio or up in the Valley Room.
Culver failed to clear the first time because they were off sides, and then they were just guilty of having too many men on the field. So there's a flag down. McDonogh has a free shot.
For a team that's 8-0, they're off to a rousing start. They win a face-off, commit a violation, go off sides, and then get a flag in the first 42 seconds. Here is Hurdle.
This is Hurdle Catlett along with Dane Swanson, who is about 6'5". He's, as we mentioned earlier in the pregame, he's a big, strapping kid, just a sophomore going to the Naval Academy with 4 other classmates, or teammates, rather.
Here's Powderly. Outside roll slide comes. Rocks the head back a little bit. Liam Powderly. Now shot clock goes on the Eagles early. Left-hand shot just over the cage, and now we will learn of the foul. Man Up's brought to you by Towson Hot Bagels. Download their app. THB is. Now, Bob, what do you like about McDonogh going to the man up early here against an 8-0 Culver squad?
Well, over the years, Coach Hillgardner's had a really solid man up program, or man up team with a variety of different ways they attack. They'll fake flip and try to throw the ball through. They'll do a little bit of 3-3. They're setting up here in a 2-3-1 from the top. And I'm going to guess they're going to cut somebody or roll somebody here shortly. Let's see, Here comes...
Here's Hurdle down the wing to Powderly.
Now they're in a little bit of a offset 3-3, 2 guys behind the goal, but they'll come up in front of the goal when the ball gets up top.
No skip pass there.
That's Coach Hillgardner's son, who's a little left-handed quality player who's going to play some midfield today, but he's also an attackman by trade.
Michael Gianfricaro, number 27 for Culver, the goaltender, making the save there. And this is Cameron Chevette, the sophomore. He's at one of those early commits.
And he's going to Hopkins.
Culver, their first real possession so far today. First quarter brought to you by the Valley Inn. And, of course, this is the Kelly & Associates Game of the Week presented by FCA Lacrosse.
This big kid, Keelan Duff, going to Maryland, 14. Jack Stevens, he's headed to Princeton, 22. Here's just a sophomore. He hadn't committed yet. 15's going to Denver. Chevette, we talked about earlier.
Future of D1 Lacrosse out here today.
Yeah, they've just talent all over the field. And watching them play offense is very similar to watching Denver play offense. A lot of motion, not necessarily a lot of driving to the goal. It's they beat you a little bit more with motion, and then when they get down to the, let's say, the end, they have a couple guys that can beat you to the rack, particularly number 22, Hiltz.
Culver on offense. This is Alex Simmons, isolated behind now.
McDonogh goes to a zone behind the short stick, and now they're going to get back up and match up in a man. They're going to be in the same scenario. They've got a short stick stuck behind. McDonogh's going to go to a zone.
Now we got a shot clock on against Culver. Little pick and roll action behind. They do play that 2-man game well. And that will go over the line. That'll be an over and back. McDonogh possession. And now we get the slow, fast whistle.
Well, the kids on those turnovers like that, they actually need to get the ball, come to a stop, and then the ref will blow the whistle quickly. You pick that thing up and you start running, he's going to be more inclined, like they did just then, to move you back. Just get to the ball, stop, get the whistle, and then go.
We've been teaching kids for years to try and win the whistle. This is Alex Pitts down the wing. Here's Powderly. McDonogh possession here halfway through the first quarter, just about. And bodies on the ground. No push call and an errant pass will bring about possession back to the Eagles. Everybody kind of need a reset there.
Coach Hillgardner said it's the first time they've stepped on this field. And I know from Culver's perspective, I think it's the first time they've also been on grass. So it takes a while to get used to it.
Backside quickly from Powderly. Now inside shot. Goal. First goal here for the MIAA against Culver, and a big one.
It's the second time they've gotten open on the crease. They did right prior to that penalty. And goaltender made a nice save this time. Matt Hillgardner's coming from that far wing. He swings the ball behind the goal. It comes to this weak side, and then Matt makes a great play and cuts back to the ball. Easy finish.
And a great feed by Griffin Catlett. Dodged, kind of backing his way in, had his head up the whole way. Hurdle against Alec.
You see the big knee brace on Hurdle. That's obviously the remnants of his ACL injury from last year. Big, strong kid. Braun, it would appear so far, Coach Hilgardner's not playing him, so they're going to try to match muscle with muscle, if you will, with Hurdle.
Strathakis wins the clamp and possession, but McDonogh comes out eager to dislodge it and does, but now Culver regains. And this is Gianfrancaro, the goaltender. Now it's off on the far side as the long sticks for Culver. They still have 4 guys back, so they're fine.
Booker, one of the things you'll see happening today, it's kind of a little confusing, but the way Coach Posner runs 15 and 22, 15's a righty, 22's a lefty. 15, when they're attacking this end of the field, will play attack and be the first guy to the box, he hopes, so he can get his defensive personnel in the field. When they go the other way, they'll have 22 playing attack so he can get to the box.
That is a coach talking to a coach right there. That's Coach Posner giving you some of the inside scoop. Stick in the passing lane for the Eagles. Culver comes up with a ground ball. Good possession. First quarter brought to you by the Valley Inn. You want to see if you can't make it for a celebration of any size out on the patio or upstairs in the Valley Room. Valley Inn right on Falls Road. Graduation, anniversaries, great occasions. Here's Cameron Chevette. Has Smith backpedaling, but he recovers nicely. And now it's up top, Jake Stevens. Stevens slows, almost begging the refs for a shot clock, it seems. Accelerates, and just, oh, what a save by Long. That's a great save by Evan Long, goaltender for the Screaming Eagles. Rich Dion now with B.J. Farrar to his right, gets it down. Sweeney will touch it in, and look for Powderly. Powderly, opportunity right here. They'll settle.
Teddy Batson playing defense there is a kid actually who's from Hagerstown, Maryland, that's gone all the way over to Indiana to play lacrosse for Culver. And he's another one of their Division I recruits headed to Cornell.
Here's Hurdle coming off the crease.
McDonogh's working a lot of crease action, especially when the ball goes from one side of the field to the other side and then to a wing. We watch a lot of nice cutting McDonogh's. They're another good crease action. That's 3 nice feeds into the crease already for McDonogh.
Dodging opportunity for Swanson as now they push it behind. Sweeney looks to turn the corner. Shot goes just high.
Keelan Duff playing defense there, headed to Maryland. It's just, it's relentless. I'm looking at this list. There's got to be 20 Division I guys on this Culver's team, and McDonogh doesn't do too badly themselves with about 15 or 10.
No shortage of D1 kids on this field today. Here's Hurdle. Right hand shot, goal. Andrew Hurdle with the Paris Hilton. Acceleration and a nice overhand shot right there.
At the pregame, Booker, we talked about Andrew's ability to shoot the ball. He didn't really have much there, but he got his hands just a little free. Watch this beautiful overhand shot and a bounce shot. Very effective on the grass. Watch. Just gets his hands free a little bit. That ball has a lot of pace on it. A lot of pace. It does now.
So you would say that's not a nifty release, though.
It was a nifty release. Look at this.
I just didn't want you to win. I didn't want you to win 2 races to nifty in a day. You always, right?
Wow, that's impressive.
I wasn't going to go 0-2. I wasn't going to go 0-2. With your girl Mary on her way up to the press box to say hello. And she's bringing Nifty back.
I've been impressed so far, Booker, with McDonogh's offense.
Yeah, very efficient.
It's efficient. They have good looks kind of wherever the ball is. And McDonogh typically gets it to the right guy. Now,
Strathakis with the quick win, and there we go. Oh, what a save by Long. Far side, that was your man Alex Simmons.
Look, they're under him. Tough pass.
And B.J. Farrar makes the quick scoop, settles. They have a chance, a little one-on-one behind here if they want it.
2 very impressive saves by Long, and he's gotten both balls out very quickly, giving McDonogh a chance to run. Here's McDonogh coming in with their second midfield group. Hill Gardner, who's a natural attackman, is playing midfield. Pitts, the senior veteran who's been around, number 15. And here is Riley Mitchell, another senior veteran that's been on the team for 3 years.
And just one of those grinder-type kids, Riley Mitchell. He'll do anything the coach asks of him. His mom, Kim, longtime teacher here at McDonogh School. Mother of 4. So, yeah, she's got her work cut out for it a little bit, Bob. Here is Culver.
Stuck on the field with a defensive group, that includes Pitts, who they'd prefer to get off the field. Culver's going to try to take advantage of it, but both teams make really nice exchange, getting their defensive personnel for McDonogh and the offensive personnel for Culver.
How hard is it, Bob? How hard is it to teach high school kids to sub through the midline like that?
Well, it's not hard, but it does take work. We watch college games, and they're so used to it, it's just, it's almost instinctive. But in high school, they generally have to think about it a little bit.
Culver, offense shot, goal. Michael Robinson out of Peterborough, Ontario, 2-1.
All right, Booker, this is a wing dodge with a lefty. He's a Canadian. He's not going to bring the ball back to his right hand, but he's fast enough to get past, again, bad matchup for McDonogh. He's fast enough to get past, and that's only the third shot that Culver's taken, but it's the first one on the ground, and it went in the goal.
Interesting. It's funny because you say it's a matchup issue, but Culver's running D1 kids anywhere you go. So where is it the matchup? It's really hard to match up against this squad. Coach Posner has done a fantastic job. And here, speaking of fantastic jobs, a career of time well spent on the lacrosse field for BJ Farrar, number 1 for McDonogh. Time well spent. Here's Hurdle with a little isolation as they sub through. You in favor of them playing 4-on-4 there, Bob, or you want the full complement?
I think it probably depends on the personnel as far as coaches. If he looks up and they're 4-on-4 and Simmons has got the ball, of course he's not playing today. He wants him to go.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and Hurdle's a nice little dodger. As we've seen, he already has 1 goal here today. Inside action, you talked about it.
They've been terrific inside. That's George Ward, who's done a nice job inside so far today. Playing with Sweeney and Powderly. I haven't seen Cummins on the field yet.
Catlin across the top. Swanson, Alley. And that is Pitts. Now Powderly on the right side. First quarter brought to you by your friends at the Valley Inn. 1 minute left in the first. McDonogh home whites. Culver Road Maroons. Catlin shot. Vapor trail behind it, but it's still, if you don't hit the cage, it's just another loud sound on the boards.
McDonogh looks efficient offensively. They're moving the lacrosse ball and moving their bodies like crazy. They caused a switch there. Nice slide by Culver. They reset their defense.
Shot, goal. That's acceleration right there. Dane Swanson. Excuse me.
That's who it was.
Okay.
Purely the result of really great ball movement. They've caused Culver a little bit. They've got to make some switches. Now they got him running a little bit. He gets to the middle of the field and throws the ball to a great spot, which is down on the lower left. Look at the goalie here. I think he might miss this a little bit. Yeah, I'm not sure he picked that ball up coming out of his stick. Beautiful placement by Swanson.
Goaltender number 27, Michael Gianfrancaro. And that also brings a tear to the eye, Bob. Somewhere, Matty Cruz. A tear runs down his cheek. There will be no nodding of deuces. Hurdle back to now battle for the faceoff. Less than half a minute in the quarter as Culver comes out with a long shot.
I'm not sure
He may have thought there was less time.
Yeah, I think he did. Culver's going to look to push this. Good defense.
Still 15 seconds left in the quarter. Oh, that'll be a tripping. Yeah. And now we just have a hot, sloppy mess. As this will bring about...
Culver going to be extra for the last 4 seconds in this quarter. I think they'll hold the ball.
Meta brought to you by Towson Hot Bagel. THB Bakery and Deli, breakfast, lunch, and catering. Download our new app, My THB, today.
Culver's just going to hold this and start the second quarter. Actually, they called that a trip, excuse me. It's a 1-minute penalty. And so they're clearly going to hold this ball. Look to start the second quarter with a 55
it's not like they're
second.
Not winning. It's not like they're not winning faceoffs either. So, either way. That'll bring about the end of the first quarter of the Kelly & Associates Game of the Week presented by FCA Lacrosse.
The Fellowship of Christian Athletes engages their coaches and athletes to grow their faith through sport. Make sure you investigate the amazing camp at Lebanon Valley College this July. The FCA has camps, clinics, huddles, teams. Learn more about the Fellowship of Christian Athletes by going to fcalax.com.
And Booker Corrigan, Bob Shriver here at McDonogh, where the Eagles lead Culver 3-1. There's your games to watch for the NCAA this weekend, Bob. What do you like? Syracuse, Notre Dame, not a bad one.
Syracuse, Notre Dame, Duke, North Carolina. They don't like each other. They don't have to travel far to play each other. Marquette, Villanova is actually a big game in the Big East. Marquette has come out of nowhere in the last 5 or 6 years, really that's all they've been playing lacrosse. Coach Amplo's done a terrific job. I actually watched them play last weekend against Georgetown in a game they won in overtime. Villanova has been living on a thin thread. They've won 3 games in overtime, but they've played very well and have a 7-2 record and are highly ranked. So that's an interesting game. But there's a lot of great games this weekend. The Big Ten starts play this weekend. Penn State playing Ohio State, Hopkins playing Rutgers. So that'll be some fun to watch.
Little flip play here as they fake the flip, comes out this side.
That's an interesting little fake flip there. Coach Hilgardner does a very similar play. 22 faked that, and he was looking to throw the ball through.
15, Alex Simmons now playing the top center of the 3-3. Here's Owen Hiltz. Hiltz is 22 for Culver. Diagonal pass down on the inside. Shot saved long. Shot by William Clayton.
Clayton, Long just held his pipe. Clayton was shooting that from behind the goal. He really didn't have anything to throw at. And Long was right where he's supposed to be. Boom.
Simmons with that absolute rocket. Second quarter brought to you by Mason-Dixon Lacrosse Tournament. Go to cselax.com and learn about the Mason-Dixon Lacrosse Tournament. Thrilled to have Kelly & Associates back. Oh, Simmons making quick work of that, but what a save by Long, and another save on the inside. I don't know how he did it. No soup for you. Long making 2 6 saves.
Tremendous saves by Long. He stuffed
Let's
them
look
on
at the replay.
One. Look at this. Watch this. Great move.
Treat.
Watch 22. Pull the string. Boom. He gets inside. He dumps it. Great save. Picks up a nice ball, and Long was up to the task.
Tell you what, that could end up on SportsCenter. I mean, they show great goals. Those were 2 6 saves because your man Owen Hiltz put a tidy little move on the McDonogh defender.
Donna's coming back with the first group. Hurdle, Swanson, and Catlett. I tell you honestly, Booker, I'm looking at here, I haven't seen Jackson Cummings, who's a mainstay on offense for McDonogh. We haven't seen Braun, haven't seen Simmons, I haven't seen Jackson Bonnet's a terrific sophomore defenseman. It looks like Coach Hillgardner's got a few guys on the IR, but they're playing great lacrosse without them. Those that are going to have to play them when those guys are back better look out so far.
There's some guys going to be displaced off the starting lineup. That's a cast of all-stars you just talked about. Here's Powderly. Swings it behind. Shot just wide that time. George Ward, I like his game, Bob.
Yeah, he's been really good, but the guy that really keeps the offense moving very quickly is Powderly.
Yes.
Watch his energy, and he's not intent on being the man. He puts the ball to the right guy at the right time. And we talked about this in our first game. Liam's the kid that makes a pass. He doesn't have to make the pass. And as a result, the offense gets terrific flow.
Hurdle with half a desk pop right there. Andrew Hurdle, number 16, back off the injury, sat out a year, plays for that Rough Riders Club lacrosse program. Unbelievably well coached by Coach Lee Corrigan. That Rough Rider Club. Hurdle, a mainstay on it. Outside roll that time by Sweeney.
Sweeney didn't get up the field far enough before he turned. Didn't have a great angle on that.
Gianfrancaro held his pipe like you talked about with Evan Snow down at this end.
Good play.
Evan Long.
Sammy English here with the ball. If you look at him on the field, he looks like he's about 125 pounds. He's a defensive midi for Culver, and he is a terrific lacrosse player. Fast and very tough. They may put him out in the corner, it looks like, and try to play McDonogh 5-on-5. English being covered by Swanson. Now they're trying to play a little game with him at the midline. Culver could get, no.
William
Swanson
Clayton with that one, and now it's
Swanson
Simmons.
for McDonogh and English for Culver. Both did a great job getting off the field.
And we got a timeout. Briefly here, second quarter, brought to you by your friends at the Mason-Dixon Lacrosse Tournament. Make sure you check it out. 3-1 your score in the Kelly & Associates Game of the Week presented by FCA Lacrosse.
The champions of today inspire the stars of tomorrow over Memorial Day weekend. Just as the stars of college lacrosse will compete for the 2018 NCAA Championship in Foxborough, Massachusetts, youth lacrosse players from across the nation will also be playing for a title at the NCAA Future Champions Tournament. Each team will receive 20 tickets to the NCAA Championships and have the opportunity to be recognized on the field at Gillette Stadium. To learn more, check us out at cselax.com.
Bob, who's that skinny little kid on the screen?
Well, that isn't Booker Corrigan, I know.
Look how skinny I am. There you go. There's your man, Kevin Corrigan, dug out. Tim Corrigan, and 9-goal. Dick Corrigan. How about that?
What is this, a family
This is
photo?
the Corrigan
Here,
family read, because we want you to be a Corrigan. Bob.
Where's Trey D'Ambrosi in that picture?
He is in that picture. There's the book man. My sister Kelly, my dad, the Green Man. My mother Mary, and my brother George, who played at W&L with Bill Holmes, whose son Jordy was in the Haverford game. He was a class of 86 guy at W&L. And we want to invite you into the, Mary was not seen in that either. Go figure.
There was Mary Corrigan, who obviously your daughter's named after. So
without question.
We did see Mary.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, if you could see him, what I'm looking at right now, I would hardly say he looks that good.
Do you like the glasses? As we get back to action here in the second quarter, 3-1 your score. McDonogh in the lead. McDonogh in white. Culver Road Maroons. Stevens up top.
Coach Hillgardner put a short stick in B.J. Farrar's hand.
Here's Clayton.
And he's got some nice strength on the outside. This is Hiltz.
Ooh!
Well,
Hooper drives the boat, Chief.
Who just connected on that offensive series. That's Hiltz to Simmons. And Long on that play, I honestly think he gets screened. Watch this. This is just part of their offensive set. There's nothing fancy here, just a little down pick, a little late switching. BJ's actually caught a little bit too far off. They don't want to step away from 15 here. Here's BJ. Watch BJ, number 1 here. He comes to this ball a little bit too close to it, and he allowed a very easy transition pass to the adjacent guy. He wasn't out on him, and he let Simmons get his hands free.
And that was an absolute rip. Culver closes the gap. Kelly & Associates Game of the Week presented by FCA Lacrosse.
Tell you, Hurdle's hanging in there.
Yep.
He's at least making it a 50-50 ball, and he hopes that his wing guys
and there he comes away with the win. And moves up to BJ Farrar. Here come the Eagles. Diagonal pass down the wing. George Ward, how you like me now?
You aren't wrong. George Ward's having a great game. Great look by Powderly. And Ward, when he caught this ball, he showed the poise. Man's rushing at him. He just stepped around him. Watch this. Great pass by Powderly, throwing it across the defense. Nice play. Look at this poise. Good. He's got 16 rushing at him.
Yep.
He let him go by. Gets to the
another
middle
look at
of
it. It starts with Hurdle. Face-off win.
Well, I wouldn't. Hurdle. Again.
He gets it Farrar. Farrar to Sweeney. Sweeney to Ward.
Hurdle's doing a good job at the very least, giving McDonogh a chance on these 50-50 ground balls to win a face-off. It's part of the new rule. They wait until both face-off guys are completely set before they put the ball in. It's actually a nice rule change over the last couple years, as opposed to putting it down
and letting them roll into it.
Right. They just called. I'm not sure of that signal from the referee. He put his hand on top of his head. I'm guessing that maybe he touched the ball.
Oh, illegal touching.
And so that's a violation.
And then if you play with your hand, it's a 1-minute foul.
Yes.
Full time. Because that's flat out cheating. And they don't let people cheat on face-offs anymore, Bob. As you smile. You know what I'm talking about.
Here's McDonogh coming back with the second group. Hillgardner, Pitts,
Mitchell.
And Mitchell. There's a lot of guys. Harrison Beatty is another kid that I've seen. He played a lot last year as a freshman for McDonogh. He hadn't been on the field. So there's 4 or 5 guys that are prominent players on this team that we haven't seen on the field. This is an impressive display so far by the Eagles. Hillgardner wants his left hand.
Hilge pushes it down the wing. And here's Powderly behind. Play a little catch on the side. Ball pinballs, and now it's going to be Culver possession.
Watch English run.
Yep.
Watch this kid
Sammy
run.
English accelerating.
And here comes BJ chasing him.
Whoops. Oh, nice play to make him miss the first time, but you're not. BJ Farrar's not going to miss a trail check twice.
No. And that time, Coach Hillgardner runs him out of the box.
Yeah.
He just played with his short stick. That time he's running out of the box with his pole. So he's a man of many talents.
And the other thing is, it's rumored he's going to go to Penn to play football and lacrosse. I certainly hope nothing but the best for BJ Farrar, because he's brought us so much enjoyment of the love of his love of the game. I hope he sticks with lacrosse in some way, shape, or form, and I hope he plays in the NFL. If he's good enough to play in the NFL, he will, because let's be honest, it's a big difference between MLL. Don't you think, Bob? Would you say?
I don't watch that stuff. These guys are ridiculous. Liam on a moving pick.
Moving
big
pick,
emphasis
procedural
this year.
Procedural violation right there against McDonogh. It's going to be Culver possession.
Now
and
we
Culver
got another
use
pole.
Some time right now.
We got another pole flashing out of the wing, flashing out of the box, putting pressure.
And I don't know what the violation was there. And now we have a flag coming down on the far side.
Culver called a timeout, and then there was a little confrontation in the middle of the field between
as you see,
number
Coach Hillgardner
13 of McDonogh and number 14 of Culver, or number 7 of Culver. I'm not sure what happened.
Referees trying their
they
best.
called unsportsmanlike conduct, it looks like, on both players. I'm thinking that there's a little right here, 7 and 13. Look, they're going at each other. I think they called it on both players.
Huh. That's a Well,
they have 13 for McDonogh. Let's see if they didn't call it and add the penalty to number
and so
7.
who's going to come away with possession here, Coach?
Well, it looks like they're up on the scoreboard right now. The only guy that's got a penalty is Casey Settleman from McDonogh, so he'll be in the box for a minute. Culver's going to get an extra man, and it's a non-releasable. And Coach Hillgardner, I'm sure, is not too happy with Casey Settleman.
So it's, Bob, it's 4-2. McDonogh's in the lead. You get some penalties going on the board. Both teams down for a minute. As the visiting coach, John Posner, what's a strategy right now? What's he thinking about? What's he going to communicate to his guys?
Well, we now know that they penalized both players. So good referee, and both guys are in the box. Culver's happy. They're playing 5-on-5, it looks like, and I think they'll have the ball because they called the timeout. And I don't think they had the ball when the timeout was called. It'll be Culver ball 5-on-5.
And how do you climb back? And before we ask you that question, the Training Lace halftime show, the undeniable feature is fantastic. I know, Bob, we didn't get enough shots of the BL Shaq Stanwyck years in the Training Lace halftime show, but they were good years.
What, the Shaq Stanwyck?
The Shaq Stanwyck years
of
BL?
Yeah, we had a pretty good run. Shaq's junior and senior year, we were 37-1 actually.
Yeah,
but
not a bad
Shaq
run.
wasn't the only player on those teams. We had a couple other really good ones.
And here is Culver possession. Both teams again down a man.
Colin Heacock, Patrick Spencer. There were some quality players. No, they're not down a man. It's 5-on-5.
Both teams are down a man.
Correct.
That's what I said.
Yeah, I apologize. I thought
You were
said
daydreaming about
down.
Shaq and Colin Heacock playing attack for you. Which
This
is
isn't
understandable.
terrible for McDonogh. They get 4 poles out on the field.
And BJ
with his shorty. So that's not a terrible situation for them. Could have called that a little penalty, pushing the pick guy down.
McDonogh now for Culver.
Well, we know he's smart. He's going to Harvard.
And that was some intense defense right there. And it looks like McDonogh is now... Oh, no, here comes the last Culver guy. So now we're 6-on-6. Penalties have expired. Those both brought to you by Towson Hot Bagels. THB. And here's a shot clock against Culver. Alex Simmons for Culver. Pump fake shot. Ball never got away. But Culver comes up with it as Hiltz gets it. He gets it taken away. Now we got flags flying. That might be a slash on Culver, Bob. We'll see. What's your money on?
I don't know.
I think it's a slash. I think it might.
He's calling a slash on somebody.
From the time of... Oh, it might be 22 or 7.
For Culver?
Yeah, for Culver.
Well, 7's just been put in the penalty box, the last penalty, so it looks like it's going against Culver. Well, the one thing we do know, Booker, is...
As we see Coach Joe Benson.
A lot of these...
And backup goaltender Patrick Scarborough. His dad, Jason Scarborough, a heck of a player in his own right. Washington College guy.
He's a showman.
The Washington College influence in the world of lacrosse is beyond measure.
We watched Coach John Nostrand, a Washington College grad, have a great game today against Landon.
1 minute.
All right, just back to that penalties, Booker. A lot of the guys that play lacrosse for Culver are Canadians. There are a lot of hockey guys, and, you know, they really have the mentality of we're just not taking anything from anybody. And they have been prone on occasion to get some penalties. And this could be a big one for them. They had an extra man a second ago that they didn't convert. Long made a couple sensational plays. That 5-on-5 they didn't get anything, and now they're down a man.
Hillgardner near side, down the wing.
Well, they love to get Hurdle or Catlett's hands free.
And
there's Harrison Beatty, number 10, is in the game, so he is playing extra man offense.
Shot looked like it never made it in, or it got shoved off by Gianfrancaro. And McDonogh comes away with it. Hillgartner down the wing.
1 second left. They've got in and checked up, so they're all even.
Here's
Coach Hillgartner was going to call a timeout, maybe. I don't know. He's still got 2 in his pocket.
Oh, a pass pickoff that you won't see a lot of by Keelan Duff.
All right, Booker. Keelan Duff's from Chicago, Illinois, going to the University of Maryland. What other great Culver defenseman goal?
Oh, and we'll get to that in a minute as we celebrate Sammy English. Great. That was a ball movement goal if I've ever seen one. English, I don't think, moved his feet. I think he caught that ball standing still, shot it standing still. And
well, it was English that came in and threw the ball. Did he not? Didn't English throw this ball down?
I beg to differ.
Very good substitution.
And there's William Clayton. And
oh,
there's
you're
English.
right. English got lost in a wash. He's a short stick defensive midi.
Yeah, here's a replay of it.
Look, nobody's paying attention to him because they're expecting him to come out of the game because he's going to sub. He's camped out. Oh, there's BJ caught getting too close to the ball carrier, not close enough to his man again. That's the second time that's happened to BJ.
Bob, it is a high school broadcast. Let's try and find the positives here, right?
Well, no,
even though BJ's the best player we've ever seen, he is a heck of a defensive player.
Well, that's a big, big turnaround there. McDonogh with an extra man offense.
Yes, it is.
They didn't score to go up 5-2, and then Culver comes right down the field and gets an easy one.
By a defensive short stick midi, Sammy English.
Coach is going to call a TO. Oh, we got another penalty.
Oof.
Now they're called one on McDonogh for hacking a little bit.
And there you see Sweeney going after the ground ball, and a stick coming down hard. Looked like Alexi Thomas. Fine young man. I actually taught him PE when he was in lower school.
Came down and hit him on the back, it looks like. They called that
they called on Sweeney.
Sweeney, though.
And it's going to be Culver man up now. It's 4-3.
Booker, last time Culver was man up, they almost stayed exclusively in a 3-3. Now they're coming out in a 1-4-1 set. And they're going to roll somebody off of this. 9's going to roll away. 7's going to drive up to a side. Maybe 9 on the crease is going to roll away. Let's see what happens.
Near side McDonogh.
They're staying in it now. They're basically in a 3-3 now, and a little offset 3-3.
Oh, if he turned to look at the low guy there.
Really good
Cameron
defense.
Chevette's got a call for that ball.
From McDonogh.
Yeah, good timely check. Timely check. 44 seconds left in the half. And the halftime show brought to you by Training Lace. Go to traininglace.com and make sure you get your hands on that product. It is tremendous way to get better and stronger. Oh, what a toe drag. Filthy. Off the backside, Alex Simmons. Catch me in the kitchen like a Simmons whipping pastries. Cruising down 8th Street.
22 seconds, 10 on the
little sky whammy. Low shot goal. Owen Hiltz. Bob, you've been singing his praises, and a good day to you, sir.
I'm not sure what happened here, Booker. Did Culver screen the goalie on this play? There's still extra. Simmons just, he steps to the ball here a little bit and just gets a step down. Watch. 15's going to drag the defense a little bit away from him with that little box fake. Yeah, it went right between 33. Actually, let that ball go between his legs. Watch this. You don't see this too often anymore. This is a little screen job. Long doesn't see the ball. Watch. Look at 33 in the middle of the field. Yep, it went right through his legs. Long didn't see it.
I hope our viewers know that you were talking about 33, the guy on the crease, because he actually moved a little bit to let the shot go. That's a great screening, and it takes a coach to see that kind of stuff. McDonogh, right?
Hockey player, probably. He's a Canadian guy. He's used to standing in front of a goalie.
Probably. Hurdle against Strathakis. And Hurdle doing everything he can. There's still 7 seconds left. And Liam Powderly, I don't know if he knows that there's that few seconds left. 2-1. And that'll do it for the first half. Don't go anywhere. The Under Armour Undeniable feature brought to you by Training Lace. The halftime show brought to you by Training Lace. You didn't come this far to only come this far. Go to trainlace.com and learn more.
Undeniable. The road to the Under Armour All-America game.
Out on that field is one thing. Immortality, boys. And there's no one who deserves it more than us. Big history tonight, boys.
Baltimore's always been a hotbed. You're almost born with the lacrosse stick in your hand. You go into your high school scene where the MIAA may be the best conference top to bottom, game to game in the nation with schools like Boys Latin.
Boys Latin is a perennial lacrosse powerhouse in the MIAA. The school has a history of producing top-tier lacrosse players in the Baltimore area.
The game plan all year long was you stop Shaq Stanwyck, you have a pretty good chance of stopping Boys Latin. No one was ever able to stop Shaq Stanwyck.
In 2013, Shaq helped lead the team to a 16-0 record, but they failed to secure the championship.
He has a tremendous skill set, but I think the thing that really stands out for me is what a great job he does allowing the game to come to him and making everybody around him better by doing that.
In 2014, things would be different. Shaq led Boys Latin to an incredible 18-0 record. Capping the season off with an MIAA championship victory over St. Paul's.
He not only showed why he's the #1 recruit from a talent and performance standpoint, but also think a leadership standpoint. That was his team this year, for them to come out on top undefeated and him to be the best player hands down in the area, maybe in the country, I think speaks to his prowess.
When they were young, we would play catch, and eventually it was like, you know, I can only catch so many balls, I've got stuff to do, I've got to cut the grass, you know, but maybe you might want to start throwing against the wall.
The wall was first introduced by Mr. Stanwyck to allow his children to hone their skills and practice rain or shine.
He just came out here, he measured out 6 by 6, painted it on. It's uneven a little bit, so it'll give you some bad passes and help us all work on catching it in awkward places, some stuff that you're going to do in games. You know, the more you practice, the more comfortable you're going to feel with your stick. And the more comfortable you feel with your stick, the better you're going to be. When you're out on the field, you're trying to make those quick decisions. You don't have to worry about what you're going to do with your stick because your mind already makes that up before you even do it. It's so important to have 2 hands in lacrosse. I'm a lefty, so I do 2 times the amount of righties that I do lefties. That's kind of just so I can get that right hand as good as my left hand.
The beauty of this thing was that you can play any time of the year. And it just got the kids out of the house, got them some exercise, and improved their skills.
I would time dinner around him, you know, and he would say, well, now I need 30 minutes, I'm going out to the wall. And I would be ready to serve, and I'd say, well, you're going out to the wall. I reheat more than I cook, so.
Probably around like 5th or 6th grade, instead of watching TV, I got out here. It was kind of like something to clear my head a little bit. At the same time, you're getting better, and you're just doing it because you love the game.
It's my dad. He's got that kind of brain that knows what it takes to be good at something. He thought you need to practice the way you play. And then the repetition has been huge, I think, in terms of getting everyone's hand-eye coordination. It stemmed from him. Obviously, he can't make you do the workout, so everyone else had the drive to get out there and play.
With the Stanwyck family, it's unbelievable the level at which they play and the consistency from one child to the next. You know, it starts with Sheehan, the All-American at Georgetown, one of the best ever. Now you're talking about Shaq, and the potential that he has could really make an impact at Johns Hopkins University. And then you take the 6 in between, and they're just as good as, if not better, than the 2 bookends. The Stanwyck's wall in the garage has become legendary. That's where the kids get their start. That's where the groundwork's put in, putting in the hard work against the wall, developing a right hand, developing a left hand, quick releases, accuracy, pinpoint passing, those kinds of things. This kind of goes back to being old school. Look at the sticks that the boys use, traditional pocket. I don't think the traditional has been in vogue now for the last 10, 12 years. You know, it's really an old school feel to the way they go about their business and the way they play the game.
For the Stanwicks, lacrosse is a family passion. All 7 of Shaq's siblings have played Division I collegiate lacrosse and have earned an array of accolades in recognition of their amazing talent.
It's more challenging today to step on a field and have an impact. What goes into becoming a great player today is different. Talked about Shaq, and I've been watching him for years, not in organized lacrosse, but out on our field.
I want to be as good as I can be. On those days where it's like rainy or crappy weather, I try and get out there, go shoot, probably hit the wall.
Right now, for this summer, I want to become a lot stronger. I'm going to be going against guys that are going to be a lot taller, bigger, faster, stronger than me. Continue to work on important stuff in my game, stick skills, shooting, stuff like that to work on the whole summer, so a lot ahead of me.
The level of work ethic that a young man has to have, I think some are surprised when they get to Division I level. Just had an outstanding career, and we certainly are excited to welcome what we think is a great kid, a hard worker, and a skill set that will certainly help our program.
If he works the way he's worked throughout his high school career and he stays on track, he could be the next great Hopkins attackman.
Presented by Corrigan Sports Enterprises. Events from conception to fruition. Produced by Jalbert Productions International.
Kelly & Associates Insurance Group and Kelly Payroll helps employers and employees save time, money, and hassle in navigating the intricacies of insurance, benefits, payroll, and workforce challenges. Kelly & Associates Insurance Group and Kelly Payroll is pleased to support CSE TV and the Game of the Week. Visit kellyway.com to put their people, technology, and services to work for you.
Protect the plate now, Scotty.
We've got a lot going on this spring. We could really use a new car. Did you say you could use a new car?
Yeah.
Come with me. Scotty! Hustle up! And now's the time to get a great deal on a new Toyota.
Mine?
Sure. Here you go. Okay, here you go. Yeah.
Right now, lease a Highlander for only $279 a month, or buy with $1,000 cash back, or pick a Sienna with 0.9% APR.
Ready, set, go get your Toyota today.
Toyota, let's go places.
The MIAA is the most competitive lacrosse conference in the country. The 2018 MIAA lacrosse semifinals and championships will be held May 15th and 18th at Towson University's Johnny Unitas Stadium. For a glimpse into the future of the collegiate game, the MIAA, where the stars of tomorrow play for a championship today.
Still a little bit of halftime left, and just like the rug ties the room together, halftime highlights and stats tie the game together. 4-4 is your score, Bob. We're looking at statistics. What do you like so far?
Saves. McDonogh's long's been on his game. 6-2 for Culver. Face-offs to Culver a little bit, so pretty even everywhere else if it looks like to me, although McDonough's caused 5 turnovers. So
yes.
Those two stats are pretty telling, and it's kept McDonogh in the game, but they made some really bad decisions right at the end of the half. You know, a couple stupid penalties that Culver's converted. I think most penalties are kind of stupid, but Culver's converted.
Let's look at some highlights here, Bob.
Great first goal for McDonogh. Little inside feed to Matt Hillgartner, who came from the far wing. This is a terrific playoff ball movement, and Hurdle just gets his hands free. Look at his shot. It's got great pace on it.
He does. He has that energy in his torso.
This is Robinson getting his left hand back, getting back to his left hand and throwing a beautiful bounce shot. Pass long. McDonogh comes right back, though. another ball movement that they caused Culver to have to switch a little bit, and Swanson buried a nice one from 15 yards. And that's not fair, quite honestly.
That is Alex
Great
Simmons.
play by Ward here. Beautiful feed from Powderly, but Ward just shows a lot of poise, gets that guy running at him and goes by him. And then this one was a result of McDonogh not checking up, and they're allowed a short stick defensive midi. They allowed
Great
a short
shot
stick
that time.
defensive midi to score, and then Hiltz notches it up right before halftime.
Standings as far as people, you like Centennial, Coach Nick Kellinger getting his squad the top 10. Gilman's back in there. You like that? You got Loyola, McDonogh, BL, Calvert Hall. Where do you think Severn's going to end up this year, Bob?
It's hard to say. They beat Archbishop Spalding in the PNC game the other night, and they looked pretty good doing it. I can tell you that Dylan Gagar, I think is how it's pronounced, is a terrific player on their team. And they got a kid who played football this fall for him who transferred to Severn from New England somewhere. I apologize, I'm not sure of his name, but he is a wonderful athlete. He's another lacrosse player from the area who I think is going to the Naval Academy.
This is the Kelly & Associates Game of the Week, presented by FCA Lacrosse. The official vehicle of the MIAA is Toyota. What drives you? Shop Toyota for legendary safety and reliability. Toyota, let's go places.
They called a hold on Hurdle on that play, given possession.
And Culver here
to
will
Culver.
start it. They have, it's a 4-4 game coming out of the half. Pretty even. Here's Chevette, just a sophomore, but committed to Hopkins. And now it's up top with Clayton.
There's been a lot of different combinations on the field today, and one of the reasons that's happened is because there's been so many penalties. Both teams have had 3 or 4 minutes in the penalty box, and that really messes up your rotations. Now Culver is back in their first time, I think, since early in the first quarter that they've had their first midfield group on the field with their starting attack.
Culver comes in with an 8-0 record, ranked number 1 in the country by Inside Lacrosse, and rightfully so. BJ Farrar with the long stick, number 1 for McDonogh, playing defense. He's been seen with a short stick. He's been seen with a cape on at times, Bob. Ball movement by Culver. Stevens.
Here's Hiltz.
Hiltz had a bomb in the first half.
He'll try to get back to his left hand somehow. He's not sure. There it is.
Pulls the string on it. Now Chevette looks inside, and now it's Simmons.
Coach Posner gave Hiltz the ultimate compliment. He said he's a combination of Zach Currier and Joel Tinney. And Zach Currier is as complete lacrosse player as I've ever seen.
He faces off for Princeton.
Well, he's graduated last year. He is some incredible player, and everybody that's watched Hopkins play in the last couple of years knows how good Tinney is.
Bounce shot that time by Hiltz. Rich Dion gets it. We're going to bring from Inside Lacrosse Terry Foy on to the broadcast momentarily. Terry, welcome back. Glad to have you.
Thanks so much, Booger.
Nice to have you back in the booth. Now tell me, Inside Lacrosse is doing a great job. I know you have the Under Armour Senior Games selections. You guys are slaving over those.
Yep.
You have your rankings that you do for high school. Yep. Culver 8-0. You like what you're seeing so far?
Yeah, they're number 1 in week 4, and I think that this, East Coast trip is certainly the way in which they get evaluated against that kind of overall landscape. And this is a good one here today. And obviously, the end of their trip, they're in a dogfight right now against the McDonogh team that I'm just impressed with how they're battling, given the injuries that they're faced with, and not off to the start that they might have hoped. This
and
is
you said
really
you're talking about McDonogh with the injuries. Okay, making sure our viewers and listeners are following along. We got McDonogh rode the ball, Culver got it out of bounds, and it's now McDonogh possession, Powderly behind, now Sweeney. Third quarter brought to you by the Columbia Bank. Banking made easy. The Columbia Bank is proud to be the official bank of MIAA Lacrosse. Go to ColumbiaBank.com. Banking easier and online all the time. Here's Powderly. Sweeney looking to go against the short-handed, the short stick. Some good hustle. He may have hustled himself right out of the play, and he did. Veteran play by Powderly right there. See if McDonogh can capitalize. Pitts with the shot, and Gianfrancaro with the save. And a nifty little one-hand ground ball play that time by Sammy English. He had a goal earlier. Terry, what do you think of the way Culver pushes the ball from defense to offense as a high school squad?
They're incredibly aggressive. There's no doubt about it. They are a really good stick-handling team at the defensive position, and I think that it puts them in a position where they win ground balls in an offensive posture in places in the field that a lot of high school teams don't. And so as a result, they're able to run those plays out. I think what you've seen today is good transition defense out of McDonogh, taking away those early opportunities, and a Culver team that is content to try to play 6-on-6. The thing that impresses me about McDonogh's preparation, watching Culver play a couple times on this trip, you've noticed how one-handed they are. It can be very difficult to prepare for because it's so unusual, but if you are well prepared and you know how to push them into spots that they're uncomfortable, you can elongate possessions like we're seeing right now.
And that's how you hold a team like Culver to 4. Oh, I say 4. It's now 5.
And ultimately, that's what a player like Alex Simmons can do for you.
Alex Simmons absolutely destroying the corner, as I was just about to allude to the fact that that's how you hold a team to 4 goals in a half.
And you look at the defensive play there.
McDonogh.
You want to take away one of his hands. You want to prevent him getting to the inside of the field. The switch comes, and so now this is a very difficult matchup for the short stick. He's playing principled, but didn't close out and load high.
Yeah,
I mean, that's
load high, and it's also a bit of a sharp angle. As I tell a lot of kids, that's why it's not soccer. That's a great goal. I wouldn't say anything Evan Long could have done differently. I mean, the guy ripped the corner out. That's a fantastic shot.
And I think that, talking about Simmons and how special a player he is and how he projects to the next level, that suddenness, you talk about explosiveness and dodging, but the ability to get the ball out of your stick so fast, take a goalie by surprise, it's just a special all-around skill set, and he really does. I mean, this is an obvious comparison given that he's a Denver commit, but he really does remind me a lot of Ethan Walker.
Yeah, the way he knows when he can get a shot off and score. And Terry, the excitement level just jumped through the roof. We have a Mary Corrigan sighting down in the front row. Everybody here is absolutely thrilled.
How many Corrigans you got
She
in
is
the
now
facility?
texting me. She is now texting me to stop. And her good friend Blue, the goaltender for her freshman team. Fantastic.
Saw them taking on Spalding as we walked in.
Oh, nice. Nice. I hope you saw Mary being a good teammate. It's the only thing I ask her if she ever does. And she always does. I mean, you have fun with your friends. Here is Sweeney. Diagonal pass. What a play. Handled by Pitts. Knocked to the ground as he released it. I like that little play on the inside. Here is Powderly. Powderly accelerating and changing direction at both times. Comes off, slinging it. Looked like he was a little bit of a 9-iron on that one, Bob. He can't talk into a microphone.
Booker, let me ask you, what do you think of this defensive performance out of Culver?
Culver's defense is good, and they know exactly who they are. They have their identity established. They're 8-0. They play with confidence. Gianfrancaro, the goaltender, number 27 for Culver, is a fantastic leader of this defense, but they break down well, and they don't try and over-defend. They don't try and defend you outside the box. You can get in a lot of trouble as an athlete if you try and overstep your bounds. They know their limitations. They don't try to over-defend, and McDonogh's done a nice job of moving the ball and capitalizing, forcing them into shots like that. Gianfrancaro now charged with the clear. But I think Culver has a nice identity, and credit Coach Posner and the athletes for buying into their roles.
That was an interesting defensive set in the way that they tried to reset when the ball went behind. A little bit of a zone up top.
Yeah.
And that, to me, says a lot about the confidence you have in your goaltender. Gianfrancaro, we know a lot about him. He's a relative of the Inside Lacrosse family, we'll say.
Oh, nice.
And a transfer and reclass, uncommitted player, had been playing at Tower Hill. Good two-sport athlete, football player, and is going to make a college coach very happy, I have a feeling.
Yeah, Gianfrancaro's played a very nice job today, and that Culver defense. As we settle in, third quarter brought to you by Columbia Bank. ColumbiaBank.com. Bank easier, bank online, bank anytime. Columbia Bank, FDIC insured.
This is the matchup.
Right back to where they scored before, Alex Simmons, but now with B.J. Farrar on him, a little bit of a different scenario. Here's Cameron Chevette. Chevette being guarded by Smith. And now we have a shot clock against Culver. Long pass across the field. Simmons against Farrar. Thank you very much. He relieves him of the burden of having to carry the ball. But Culver comes right back with it. And a procedural violation that is... Coach Poser's not going to be thrilled with that. We had a moving pick call. That was an odd one. Have you noticed more in your watching of lacrosse at high school and college level, the moving picks being called more?
I have. It's been a topic of conversation, obviously, coming away from the Hopkins-Carolina game where there was 25 of those calls made over the course of the game. It was a topic of conversation.
Hopkins-Loyola was the same way.
It's tough. I don't know if the rule needs to be cleaned up a little bit in order to make it easier to officiate, but clearly it's just not easy.
Crease violation against the Screaming Eagles, and Culver will start back. We want to thank Terry so much for taking the time to join us here, although I'm sure he was here to watch the game because these are two fantastic teams. But it's always nice to get inside lacrosse and Terry Foy's insights on a lot of the different things that are going on in the world of high school lacrosse, including the rankings, which have Culver at number 1 in the country right now. McDonogh looking to put an end to their 8-0 streak. Bob Shriver now back. Bob, what'd you learn on your time off?
Culver has ratcheted up their defense considerably. They played really good defense. Giancaro back behind them in the goal. Gian Fricaro has played very well. Here's Simmons.
Ooh. I tell you what, the way he spins and makes something happen.
Well, I was listening.
Really
I was listening to Terry comment about how much Simmons reminds him of Ethan Walker. Well, they've got the same guy on the other side of the field in 22 and Owen Hiltz. It's a really terrific combination. But I've been very impressed with how much Culver has really picked it up at the defensive end. They've started to get very physical with McDonogh and have limited them to the really good chances that they had earlier in the game.
A nice little swim move. I don't know if that's going to be a nope, they're not going to bail him out. It's going to be a crease violation.
Good defense by McDonogh. We have a penalty down. Flag down. Not sure what happened.
Neither am I. It looked like it was off the ball. That's odd, Bob, because you and I have seen a lot of lacrosse games. And there have been a couple times in this game when we have not been able to clearly ascertain.
Unsportsmanlike conduct against the Culver player. Must not have liked the call. Chirping at the official. It was number 7, it looks like, again. That's his second time in the box. He was the one, William Clayton, that took the ball to the goal and got knocked down, and they called him for in the crease. I think he thought he was hit from behind. McDonogh needs...
looked like it could have gone either way.
Yeah, but...
the reactions.
McDonogh really needs this one, I think, pretty badly. They've been stuck on 4 for about a quarter and a half.
Third quarter brought to you by Columbia Bank. The ColumbiaBank.com. Banking made easy. Here's Hurdle down the wing. Powderly behind Hillgartner. Harrison Beatty, number 10 on the man-up unit. Here's Sweeney.
So far, Culver's playing really well on the man down. Of course, they play against so many good players on a regular basis. Pike.
A diagonal pass
Good
to dive for, and Hurdle comes away with the ground ball. Inside feet shot just wide.
Another penalty.
And another foul coming in. McDonogh looking to tie it. And Bob, it's one of your favorite things. Cinco de tie-up. If the Screaming Eagles can get one here.
Great pass by Powderly there.
What a diagonal
Hillgartner with a nice catch, and unfortunate for him, he rung it off the post. But then McDonogh picked up a nice ground ball, had another good opportunity. So they're 2 men up for 9 seconds. And that means they're probably 2 men up for about 14 seconds, because it'll take this guy a little bit of time to get on the field, but this will probably end up being a 5-on-4.
Over number 16, penalty 1 minute.
Now it's going to be a 6-on. Oh, there it is.
Shot saved, Gian Fricaro, and he gets it right up immediately to Sammy English. And English is probably going to look to get this ball behind the cage. Owen Hiltz settles things, and now Culver looks to just run off. They still have a full 30 seconds.
Now we have another flag down. McDonogh's got, I guess they went off sides. There's a flag down, so Culver's going to eat this for the next 19 seconds, and then they'll try to get a free look at it.
And Culver does just that. 5 seconds remaining now in that 30 in the penalty.
And they can't be warned. They can't be warned when you're down a man. Now they're even.
Culver only up 5-4 late third quarter here as they look to make something happen. Ball fed into the back of the cage that time by McDonogh, and that will do it as we got bodies flying around again. As the clock winds down, 8.8 seconds now. Again, Bob, this is the time where Culver's just going to hold it, not risk the face-off, because Hurdle has done a nice job of making sure that it's a 50-50 ball.
Offsides, 30 seconds.
30-second penalty. Offsides was a call. They called that on Hurdle, but it was an attackman that went over the line, and Hurdle got back on defense. So they just had basically too many men on the field on the defensive end, or not enough, rather, on the offensive end, so they're offsides. Yeah. Culver will start the fourth quarter with a man up.
Third quarter is in the books, 5-4. Fantastic day for lacrosse here on the Kelly & Associates Game of the Week, presented by FCA Lacrosse.
Thunder Bay Apparel is the hottest lacrosse-exclusive clothing line in the game. Thunder Bay's t-shirts and hats flash a little lacrosse lifestyle into your wardrobe. Thunder Bay's pigment-dyed, ring-spun cotton t-shirts immediately feel like you've owned them for years, because nobody wants to wear that other polyester fabric every day. Make sure you check out the new styles and designs. All you got to do is click on ThunderBayApparel.com.
The Fellowship of Christian Athletes engages their coaches and athletes to grow their faith through sport. Make sure you investigate the amazing camp at Lebanon Valley College this July. The FCA has camps, clinics, huddles, teams. Learn more about the Fellowship of Christian Athletes by going to fcalax.com.
And back for the fourth quarter here, and Press Box and Corrigan Sports have teamed up together to provide high school Lax fans with a weekly high school Lax newsletter. The weekly email features local boys and girls rankings, key upcoming games, and key players' coaches. To watch, sign up now and go to PressBoxOnline.com/lacrosse. Booker Corrigan and Bob Shriver bringing you the McDonogh Culver game. Culver, #1 in the country. They start the fourth quarter man up with just a couple seconds left on the man advantage. Bob, you like their 3-3?
I like it a lot because they've got 22 and 15 as their main guys who are creating the offense, whether it's with stick fakes, box fakes, walking the dog, good shots. Here's 15 dragging the defense away from him and trying to get 22 free. They're even.
Oh, Simmons loves that toe drag. Nice save by Evan Long.
Evan Long's had a great game, as has Culver's goalie.
Gian Fricaro?
Gian Fricaro has been terrific. Both guys. This has been a really well goaltended game, as the score would indicate. Two very good offensive teams, and it's 5-4 in the fourth quarter.
Fourth quarter brought to you by Durham Capital, providing non-traditional sources of capital for public and private companies worldwide. For more information, visit durhamcap.com.
Well, they're coming back here with this first midfield group, but Hurdle is not out on the field. I hope he hadn't tweaked his knee or done anything to hurt his knee. And Hillgardner is running with Catlett and Swanson. Culver counters with their complete defensive group, defensive middies, 20 and 10, English.
Here's Swanson across the top.
Look at they're throwing their weight around. Literally, Culver is in the last quarter and a half. They're playing big and strong.
Hilgartner going for an invert here. McDonogh in their home whites, Culver road maroons. Booker Corrigan and Bob Shriver bringing it for you.
Culver countered with a little zone there. Now they're back to man. We got a warning.
Shot clock against the McDonogh Eagles. Here's Swanson, whole shot. Oh, and he sneaks it. That is your textbook Paris Hilton right there. Swanson, second of the day. And Bob, welcome to Cinco de Mayo.
Nice play. Shot clock on. McDonogh gets moving a little bit. Good play by Catlett. Draws a man. Swanson gets his hands free. Look, bounce shot on the grass. There's nothing like it. We've seen a couple of them be very effective today. Swanson scored earlier, with his left hand. That was a really nice, basically beautiful downhill bounce shot up into the upper corner to tie the game. Hurdle's back out on the field, so that's good.
Yeah, Hurdle's one of those grinder type players. Andrew Hurdle bound for Bucknell, the McDonogh number 16 midfielder. And Culver wins the face-off.
Brent Hadsner, who's been a consistent player on the wing for Culver. Big, strong kid. He's another Hopkins commit. As we've said earlier,
there's
all
a lot
over
of
the place.
A lot of D1 players on this field at both ends and both jerseys. Culver patient right now, but we are knotted.
Cinco.
Catch and throw here on the wing between McDonogh and Clayton. Now they're on the far side.
This is very, right here is watching Denver play a little bit. You know, there's a lot of ball movement, a lot of body movement, but not necessarily a lot of dodging to go to the goal. And then they hope to get 15 or 22 with the ball in their stick and somebody running at them so they can just run by them.
And now we get a shot clock against Culver as Simmons settles. Oh, low word burner. McDonogh, it looks like. No, excuse me. That's double deuces. That's Owen Hiltz.
It's Owen Hiltz. So, per the pregame today, we talked a lot about Simmons for Culver and Hiltz, and I think collectively they have 5 of the 6 goals. No, the only one, I think, number 10, the short stick defensive midi, Sammy English scored. But I think that Simmons and Hiltz have handled the scoring for the Culver. What is Culver's nickname, by the way?
The Culver CMA, Culver Military Academy. The Banana Slugs.
Well, no, that's University of California, Santa Cruz. The Banana Slugs. Good play.
Hurdle with the face-off win and under much duress.
That time,
gets it to Alexi Thomas. Alexi had an opening. Liam Powderly goes, and Gianfrancaro makes the save. Powderly driven to the turf there.
Well, unfortunately, he slipped as he was driving up the field. He slipped and fell down, and he didn't get anything on the shot, but he's riding. He's riding like a banshee, and there's Hadsner. Oh, bad pass.
Goes on the ground. And that could be a moving kick call. They let it slide, and Culver is offsides, but that's okay. Now they get it. Sometimes I know things, Bob.
Well, looking through the different partitions up here in the press box, sometimes it's hard to see the whole field.
Better than being up there. It's better than being on the...
It just stepped right out of bounds.
Now they got to reset.
Got to get the ball outside the box before the ref's going to blow that whistle.
Yep. The game cannot restart with the ball inside the box unless it's a defensive player.
2 bad mistakes by both teams. Culver with the offsides, and then McDonogh threw a bad crossfield pass. Dion couldn't catch it without stepping out of bounds. Culver possession.
Fourth quarter brought to you by Durham Capital. Well, skyway me that time. Oh, shot goal credit. William Clayton with the worm burner. And Culver stretches their lead to 2.
Booker, Hiltz.
Same spot.
Hiltz and Simmons just draw so much attraction to them. Here's Hiltz is just running across the top. Everybody's watching him, and he makes a great play and throws this ball back where the defense is sloughed off.
Yep.
Step down with another Canadian shooter.
William
Clayton headed to Denver. Look at this. Good shot. Just, a low screamer. Not much of a chance for Evan Long to make that save.
Hurdle once again making a 50-50 ball. And they did call possession as Farrar goes for it.
They're offsides. They didn't call it. They missed it.
Oh, yeah.
Culver was offsides clearly on that play. McDonogh went over the line.
And nobody stepped over for him.
And the referees missed it.
Yeah, but it's an easy one to miss.
Sure, there's a lot of people up there at the midline.
A lot of people spooking around up there.
Yeah, absolutely. But they missed it.
I don't know what we missed, but some of the fans.
Well, I think they're yelling that they missed the offsides.
Okay. Culver up 7-5.
There's the same play, the same play that they just scored on, where the guy drives to the middle but throws back to where he came from.
This is Alex Simmons, number 15, sharing it across with Michael Robinson now. Robinson trying that upper right corner.
Actually, I apologize. Robinson and English do have 2 of the Culver goals.
Evan Long with a pickoff there as they try to go cross crease.
To go with Clayton. So we have 5 goal scorers. Simmons and Hiltz both have 2. Clayton, English.
Smith now for McDonogh. And that could be a hold. Body's going everywhere. As McDonogh's looking to knock off the #1 team in the country here. 5 minutes left. Liam Powderly possesses behind. This is the Kelly & Associates Game of the Week presented by FCA, Booker Corrigan, and Bob Shriver, bringing you the action here from McDonogh. McDonogh in their home whites, Culver Road Maroons. Culver 8-0.
Here's this guy I was talking about earlier, number 5, Keelan Duff, one of their star defensemen. He's a Chicago kid going to Maryland, and I asked you earlier who is a Chicago kid that plays for Maryland. Who's a great defenseman, Neufeld.
Okay, yeah.
Boy,
that's
Swanson with another blast. He can get that 6'4" frame rolling pretty good.
Faster than my caddy when it's going downhill.
Just a sophomore.
Here is Matt Hillgardner.
I think they feel better with Matt on the field than Hurdle. Hurdle, they'd right to shoot.
Shot, goal, Dane Swanson feeling it.
That's why Matt Hillgardner's on the field. With his left hand, he gives him a little balance offensively. And he makes a really, we saw this play a second ago. Culver, here's Matt driving to the middle of the field and throwing back to where he came from because everybody's, look at all the defenders coming to him. And there's Swanson with his 3rd goal of the game.
Swanson going hard and low.
Watch this. Watch the Culver defense go to Matt Hillgardner's side, and we got 3 guys going to him.
Throwback.
Leave Swanson all by himself for a nice goal. Get McDonogh back to 1 down.
7-6 now. Here in the game of the week. Just watch MIAA Lacrosse.com. Go to CSE Lax. We have a full schedule of games this spring. Bob and I will have guest Dan Aburn will be on the sideline for a lot of games for us this year. As we get, ooh,
that's a penalty.
Yeah, I didn't see a flag go. McDonogh's going to get the ball, and I agree. It looked like a slash, but
he got him big time.
It's not a slash. They don't call it.
Booker,
we
have
now with a chance to tie it.
From some other intersectional scoring going on, it looks like Gonzaga took down Boys Latin today. Not sure the final, and Gilman is playing Georgetown Prep right now and holding on to a 2-goal lead. So a couple
and we'll
big
see the Greyhounds next week.
Yeah, a couple big intersectional games. Gilman's had a nice start to their season.
Gilman will be at Culver Hall on Tuesday, April 3rd, and we will be there. Riley Mitchell throws it back to Sweeney. Sweeney now behind Ward, and this is Powderly. Liam Scratch, Powderly, and McDonogh will take a timeout with 3:13 to go in the Kelly & Associates Game of the Week. Thrilled to have Durham Capital sponsor in the fourth quarter.
Thunder Bay Apparel is the hottest lacrosse-exclusive clothing line in the game. Thunder Bay's t-shirts and hats flash a little lacrosse lifestyle into your wardrobe. Thunder Bay's pigment-dyed, ring-spun cotton t-shirts immediately feel like you've owned them for years because nobody wants to wear that other polyester fabric every day. Make sure you check out the new styles and designs. All you got to do is click on ThunderBayApparel.com.
The Fellowship of Christian Athletes engages their coaches and athletes to grow their faith through sport. Make sure you investigate the amazing camp at Lebanon Valley College this July. The FCA has camps, clinics, huddles, teams. Learn more about the Fellowship of Christian Athletes by going to fcalax.com.
And let's look at our standings, brought to you by Pressbox Online. I do a segment every week with Glenn Clark Radio. Bob, there's going to be some changes, evidently.
I think so. Based on what the Twitter's showing, Boys Latin looks like they're going to go down to Gonzaga, although that's not a Baltimore area game. Gilman's beating Georgetown Prep. Severna Park really hadn't gotten their season started yet. We know they haven't lost a game in 2 years. So, hey, the rankings in the beginning of the season are a lot of fun to talk about, but I think everybody would say that they're more concerned with what they look like at the end of the season.
Oh, yeah. They don't hang a banner for beating Gonzaga, right?
Just a simple exchange that McDonogh didn't handle.
And that's going to be off of Culver. It's going to be a McDonogh possession. Great to see the Director of Alumni Relations, Jen Little, down out leaning on the fence. Big McDonogh lacrosse fan, has been for years. Powderly comes around, hits the post. And I tell you what, Culver takes body after you shoot the ball.
Yes, they do. Well, we talked about that a second ago. They're manning up big time. But McDonogh, Coach Hillgardner, called that timeout to really get this midfield back on the field. And get Swanson with
ladies and
4.
gentlemen, Dane Swanson, welcome to the party, son. Going across his body and stinging it.
This is Swanson's coming out party here today. This is his 4th goal. Nice play by Matt Hillgardner. Again, not trying to make the pass. He makes a beautiful pass across the goal to Powderly. Powderly top to Swanson, and he sticks this thing.
I tell you, just watching him stick that corner, you just know that feeling of like you released it at the perfect moment. Memorable of Joe Sider's big goal for Towson last year against Syracuse. Was that kind of a rip?
All knotted up here, Booker. 2:28 left.
Yep. What a thriller. McDonogh looking to take down the #1 team in the country, and you're here to watch it. That's why you log on to MIAAlacrosse.com. Oh, great face-off win, and now they're sharing it. Here's Hanser. Hanser on the break. And a wise choice by Simmons to hold off. Austin McDonogh got it down to him, and now Simmons possesses as the clock just trickles to the 2-minute mark left in the 4th quarter.
Good face-off that time.
Captain Obvious is going to join you in the booth and tell
you. No, I mean,
Culver really wants to score the big one here. If they can score here, they can take the lead.
How's that?
Stahakis that time pulled the ball back to his wingman. It's the first time there hasn't been a scrum on a face-off. Really good play. Wingman picked that ball up, threw it up the field. It looked like they had a stone-cold fast break, but McDonogh played it really well defensively.
They really did. McDonogh brought it down to Stevens, and there's offense. Oh, looked like it was ticketed for the pipe.
I think
deflected on its way.
Yeah, I think defenseman Rich Dion made a really nice play there. Got a stick on that. Coach Posner's got a timeout in his pocket, so both coaches still have timeouts in their pockets.
Here's
Coach
Simmons.
Hillgardner could call one to set up his D, and Coach Posner could call one to set offense, try to get the last shot.
Here's Jake Stevens. Dodges, gains the middle of the field. Have one, Jake! Acceleration, domination. Y'all sit back and enjoy the light show.
Big, strong move. Look at him here. Just powers by the McDonogh defenseman. Gets to the middle of the field. No slide. McDonogh guilty of not seeing this guy get to the middle of the field. They're very intent, as they should be, on checking up on these Canadians, especially when they're on the inside. You just can't turn your back on them, so sometimes you get somebody up above you that you don't see. Stevens stuck it.
Jake Stevens accelerating that time.
Ivy Leaguer headed to Princeton to follow in the footsteps of former Culver great Zach Currier.
8-7 now with 1:02 remaining, fourth quarter. And they're going to call Strathakis for withholding. It's going to be McDonogh possession. Credit Andrew Hurdle with just doing yeoman's work at the face-off dot today, Bob. Hurdle down the wing. Under a minute to go now, McDonogh possession.
McDonogh ought to call a time after taking too much time getting their subbing game going. Yeah.
And there it is. Bob, you've coached this game once or twice, and we're going to stay here, Bob. Now, if you're Coach Hillgardner, are you prepared for Culver to go zone?
I don't think so. The way Culver's played defense in the second half, they've been terrific, quite honestly. And give McDonogh credit for being able to muster up 3 goals in this half.
Okay, so I asked you about the Culver defense. Now, if you're offensive coach for McDonogh, who are you looking for? You like Swanson?
Well, you like Swanson at the end of a play. You want Swanson shooting the ball based on what we've seen so far. So they've got to get the ball. Hillgardner's been very good with his left hand. He's able to create a little bit of offense. You know, they're looking to slide to him. But ultimately, you want some combination of Swanson at the end and Powderly with somebody moving to him because of ball movement somewhere else. Maybe Hillgardner creates a little bit of a slide. He can move the ball to Powderly, and then Powderly can get on his horse, either go to the goal or look for Swanson. Or Catlett. Catlett's been very quiet in this game, but we know full well that if he gets his hands free.
I tell you one thing, if it's an outside shot, I'm telling him in the huddle, sidearm bouncer. I have no problem with the sidearm bouncer. The overhand, we've seen some guys overhand bounce. Just put it, make the goalie make a save at this point. If you get your hands free, make him save it.
How about we are not even in April yet and see the quality of play in this lacrosse game today? It's been a really strong defensive effort by both teams. Both goalies, great battle at the face-off X.
Great coaches,
a lot of great contested ground balls. It's been a lot of fun.
And it's our first doubleheader together, Bob.
Yeah.
And it's been pretty nifty.
They're giving the ball to Swanson.
Swanson driving lefty. And now they get it behind to Powderly. Powderly looks inside, now comes lefty. Rolls back, looking to feed. High feed up top, Swanson.
No, they got what they wanted.
Somebody behind the cage almost took one.
They got
Powderly
what they
with
wanted.
a head of steam. Checked as he shoots it. Now 20 seconds, 19 and a half, they're saying.
Powderly, I think, is cramped up a little bit over there. He's losing his pants.
Clock down to the 15-second mark. Hillgardner rolls back, comes out lefty. Looking to get it to Sweeney. Now he does.
9
Sweeney
seconds.
guarded by a short stick. Shot wide over the cage. They're going to stay here with Hilge. Maddie Hillgardner looking to the inside. Feeds it. They get a handle on it. They don't get the cage. And with 1.1 left. Maddie Hilgardner almost caught a handle of that, and you see the intensity of the celebration of Culver tells you how close McDonogh was to knocking them off.
What a lacrosse game. Who's your player of the game booked, man?
Oh, I would go Dane Swanson. We've never done a kid from a losing team. It's just hard to ask a high school kid after they lose a heartbreaker like that to answer a bunch of.
I would agree.
So, yeah, the Under Armour underclass player of the game.
Are you picking two, or are you just going with one?
I love going with two.
Well, I honestly feel that both goaltenders were outstanding. I don't think there's any question that Gian Fricaro was terrific for Culver, and I'd say that between Simmons and Hiltz, you got to go with one of those guys. I do believe in my heart of hearts that Simmons was very, very much involved offensively for Culver. I think I'd go with the elder statesman out of those two, Simmons and Hiltz, excuse me, and go with the junior Simmons along with the goaltender who had a terrific game.
Gian Fricaro. So those are your two players of the game. Under Armour underclass tryout. Rep your region. Make sure you get to those tryouts. That's the best way to measure yourself against the best talent in your area. Go to UnderArmourLacrosse.com and learn more. For the Invicta Broadcast Company and Bob Shriver, I'm Booker Corrigan reminding you, you only get one shot at today.
The MIAA is the most competitive lacrosse conference in the country. The 2018 MIAA Lacrosse semifinals and championships will be held May 15th and 18th at Towson University's Johnny Unitas Stadium. For a glimpse into the future of the collegiate game, the MIAA, where the stars of tomorrow play for a championship today.
Kelly & Associates Insurance Group and Kelly Payroll helps employers and employees save time, money, and hassle in navigating the intricacies of insurance, benefits, payroll, and workforce challenges. Kelly & Associates Insurance Group and Kelly Payroll is pleased to support CSE TV and the Game of the Week. Visit kellyway.com to put their people, technology, and services to work for you.
Great news! Corrigan Sports Enterprises and Inside Lacrosse are pleased to announce that registration is open for coaches to nominate their most deserving seniors to be Under Armour All-Americans. Underclass tryout registration is also open, and we've added a new region, the Connecticut-New York region. For information and to register, grad years from 2019 to 2022 need to go to UnderArmourLacrosse.com.
Thunder Bay Apparel is the hottest lacrosse-exclusive clothing line in the game. Thunder Bay's t-shirts and hats flash a little lacrosse lifestyle into your wardrobe. Thunder Bay's pigment-dyed, ring-spun cotton t-shirts immediately feel like you've owned them for years because nobody wants to wear that other polyester fabric every day. Make sure you check out the new styles and designs. All you got to do is click on ThunderBayApparel.com.
The Under Armour tryouts remain the premier recruiting event of the summer for high school players looking to be seen by college coaches at every level. Step up and measure yourself against the best players in your region. Register at UnderArmourLacrosse.com. The Summer Rumble is headed back to Richmond June 9th and 10th, and we are now a U.S. Lacrosse National Qualifier and sanctioned event. The Rumble brings together a wealth of top talent from the best club programs at the amazing River City Sportsplex with their 12 lighted turf fields. As a U.S. Lacrosse sanctioned event, you can expect the highest quality tournament regarding operations, safety, and experience. Go to CSELax.com for information and to register now.
The MIAA is the most competitive lacrosse conference in the country. The 2018 MIAA Lacrosse semifinals and championships will be held May 15th and 18th at Towson University's Johnny Unitas Stadium. For a glimpse into the future of the collegiate game, the MIAA, where the stars of tomorrow play for a championship today.
The Summer Rumble is headed back to Richmond June 9th and 10th, and we are now a U.S. Lacrosse National Qualifier and sanctioned event. The Rumble brings together a wealth of top talent from the best club programs at the amazing River City Sportsplex with their 12 lighted turf fields. As a U.S. Lacrosse sanctioned event, you can expect the highest quality tournament regarding operations, safety, and experience. Go to cselax.com for information and to register now.
Kelly and Associates Insurance Group and Kelly Payroll helps employers and employees save time, money, and hassle in navigating the intricacies of insurance, benefits, payroll, and workforce challenges. Kelly and Associates Insurance Group and Kelly Payroll is pleased to support CSE TV and the Game of the Week. Visit kellyway.com to put their people, technology, and services to work for you.
Great news! Corrigan Sports Enterprises and Inside Lacrosse are pleased to announce that registration is open for coaches to nominate their most deserving seniors to be Under Armour All-Americans. Underclass tryout registration is also open, and we've added a new region, the Connecticut-New York region. For information and to register, grad years from 2019 to 2022 need to go to UnderArmourLacrosse.com. Great news! Corrigan Sports Enterprises and Inside Lacrosse are pleased to announce that registration is open for coaches to nominate their most deserving seniors to be Under Armour All-Americans. Underclass tryout registration is also open, and we've added a new region, the Connecticut-New York region. For information and to register, grad years from 2019 to 2022 need to go to UnderArmourLacrosse.com. Fellowship of Christian Athletes. Huddles, camps, teams, building three-dimensional athletes and coaches.
Thunder Bay Apparel is the hottest lacrosse-exclusive clothing line in the game. Thunder Bay's t-shirts and hats flash a little lacrosse lifestyle into your wardrobe. Thunder Bay's pigment-dyed, ring-spun cotton t-shirts immediately feel like you've owned them for years because nobody wants to wear that other polyester fabric every day. Make sure you check out the new styles and designs. All you got to do is click on ThunderBayApparel.com.